just want to make a few comments, and after the presentation by the city manager and the chief, I'm happy to take any questions. I'm sure the questions may be more appropriately directed to Chief Isaac, but I'm certainly happy to answer any. Let me just start off by saying that all life is sacred, and we regret the fact that life has been lost, and we want to pray for the family, who I'm sure is sad today. But I want to be very clear that the officers were justified in what they did. This guy pointed a gun at our police. That is totally unacceptable. And our officers have every right to shoot, to kill, if necessary, in a situation like that. And there is a big picture out there as to, are we out there to reduce crime? And I think the answer is yes, and we're chasing the bad guys. Our citizens want us to chase the bad guys. We're chasing the bad guys. Here was a clear armed robbery. The officers immediately did their jobs and chased the bad guy. I want the officers involved that I have their back to know that I have their back, that they were justified in their actions, and we support them 100%. Equally important is we have the citizens' back. The number one issue in the city, which I have said for our administration, is to reduce the violence and the crime in our city. Our police officers are doing a great job, and they've got to know that they have our support. But it's the citizens that I hear from on a daily basis who tell me, let's bring down the violence and the shootings. And I just want to say that two things. One, this is proof that under leadership of Chief Isaac and the leadership of the United Police Department, that we are hearing the citizens who want us to chase the bad guys. And two, this is a message to everybody, anybody out there who may be engaged in criminal activity. We're coming after you, and if you point a gun at a cop, they are going to shoot. And we're going to go after all the bad guys until we reduce the violence as much as we want. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Just before we have Chief Isaac to come up, I just wanted to reiterate and reaffirm another differentiating point as it relates to the city of Cincinnati, and in particular the Cincinnati Police Department. There's absolutely no hesitation as it relates to transparency. I received a call very early this morning from Chief Isaac, manager. We're going to do a press event, as we always do. That has been our longstanding policy and procedure, will continue to be our longstanding policy and procedure. Within a 24-hour window of any incident such as this, we will come to the public, we will share what we have, and we will be as transparent as possible in terms of letting folks know exactly what we are doing, why we've done it, and what exactly has happened. So I commend the department for the professionalism and the ongoing transparency, and as the mayor has stated, for the exemplary police work. This is yet another example of that. At this time, I'm going to ask Chief Isaac to come up and to run us through the series of events that led to this tragic incident.
Thank you, Mr. Black. Before I get started, I just, again, want to reiterate you're going to see a series of videos, one of which being the officer's MVR, his mobile video recording. It is somewhat graphic. It actually captures the shots being fired, and there is some use of profanity in that video, so I just want to make you aware of that before we get to that part. As we begin, the first slide indicates 3 different locations that are critical to this presentation. At approximately 7:59 p.m. last night, District 3 officers received a call from Emergency Communications Section of an aggravated robbery that occurred at the Walgreens store located at 4241 Glenway Avenue. The report indicated the suspect had entered the store, showed a handgun, ordered the cashier to open the cash register, and he left the premises without taking anything. Approximately 3 minutes later, directly across the street, another 911 call was received from the Dill's Discount Store located at 4220 Glenway. In that instance, the suspect pulled a firearm, pointed it at the cashier, and left with an undetermined amount of cash. District 3 units responded to investigate, and at approximately 8:04 p.m., just 4 or 5 minutes after the initial call, District 3 officers located an individual matching the description given at Sunset Avenue and Rapid Run Road. We're going to show you several videos, the first of which being the actual video from the Walgreens store, followed by a 911 call. Then we'll show you the video recovered from the Deals Discount store, also followed by the 911 call. So go ahead. This indicates the individual in question encountering the cashier. He displays a firearm by lifting his jacket. He doesn't actually pull the firearm. There's some encounter, and you'll hear the details in the following slide when the 911 call is played.
What's the address of your emergency?
4241 Glenway Avenue.
4241 Glenway, is that a house or apartment?
It's Walgreens. Is it?
Oh, Walgreens, okay. Well, what's going on there?
My cashier just got held up to open the register with a gun. The dude just left, but because she said she didn't let him in, but she said she's terrified he's gonna come back, which I am too, you know. But I thought
How long did this happen?
3 minutes ago, maybe.
All right, can you give me a description of the guy? Was he male, white, black, Hispanic?
Here, let me get her so she can tell you. I'm sorry, sir.
Right.
Here.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, can you give me a description of the person who robbed you at gunpoint?
He was a male white.
How old is
He
he?
had on a hat. I would say maybe he's in his 30s, mid-30s.
All right, how tall would you say he is?
He's at least 6'2".
6'2". What color clothing? is he
Wearing
wearing?
pajama pants. He's wearing like green or blue, like colored pajama pants.
Okay, what color shirt?
He had his coat on,
What color jacket?
and it was a dark colored coat.
All right, and he had what color gun? Black, silver?
Yes, he had a black one. And he did have the gun because he showed it to me, and he kept telling me to open the register.
Which way did he leave?
Sir, he went out the door. I didn't see which way he went when he went out the door.
Okay.
I didn't go out
How
after
much money?
him.
How much money?
You
Oh,
know,
I know. I fully understand. How much money did he get away with?
he got away with none
Oh, he
because
got
I
away with
didn't let
that.
him in my register.
Okay.
I kept telling him, please, please, please. And finally, thank God he left me alone.
Okay. Was anybody injured?
No.
The next is the discount store. You can see he retrieves a firearm from his waistband and displays. We'll show that in a little more detail in the following slide. He's retrieving money from the cash register as the cashier also gives what's left in the drawer. Next, a little closer view where it actually shows him removing the firearm from his waistband. Okay, and then followed by the 911 call.
Cincinnati 911. What's the address of your emergency?
Hello?
Yes, this is 911. What's the address of your emergency?
Yeah, we just had a guy come in and pull a gun on me. And
Oh, let me take a look here. Say he, were you at
He came
Walgreens
in.
or?
he was a white, older guy. He came in and he picked up a Pepsi, came through my line, and I've been to this once before, so it's okay.
Okay, are
He
you
was like digging in his pockets for change, and I thought he was trying to find his money, and he pulled a gun on me.
okay, are you at Deals?
Yeah, deals, 4220 Glenway Avenue.
Oh, let me take a look. It looks like we received a call from Walgreens too. Do you know if this is the same thing or?
They just got a call from Walgreens.
All right. Anyway, so you saying the male took the Pepsi? Did he take any cash from you?
No, he took cash from my drawer. He didn't
All right.
take the Pepsi.
All right. Male white, how old?
Probably in his 40s. He had dark hair. You even have him on camera. If you pull him up on the camera, I can even point out what the clothes he was wearing.
Okay. Which way did he go?
I don't know. I know what he looks like, though.
Okay. I say you dark hair. What was he wearing?
He was wearing like a plaid jacket. I didn't see what shirt was underneath it. I think he had, pajama pants.
Plaid jacket, possibly pajama
Like
pants.
plaid blue pajama pants. I remember that.
Okay. Are you okay? Are you hurt at all?
No, this guy gave him the money, and that was it. I'm good.
Okay. You didn't see which way he went out of the store?
No, I don't. We might be able to pull it on the camera. We might see which way he went.
Okay.
It's a might, though.
Okay. And you said he did have a gun. Was that a handgun? Or was it like a rifle, shotgun, or was it just a handgun?
See, I don't know my guns very well. It was like black. You know how
Okay. It did come out of his pocket though. He was able to keep it.
yeah, he pulled it out of his jacket, I believe.
Okay. And you said he took cash and a Pepsi.
Yeah, he got away with over $400.
Okay. All right, I do have that in. That's us.
So if my manager pulls it up on the camera, I can point out who he is.
Let me take a look here. I just want to. Yeah, it looks like they. 6'2" dark jacket, green and blue pajama pants. This is the same guy from Walgreens.
It is the same guy?
I mean, everything you're telling me jives with that. He didn't get any cash from them. He attempted to. Looks like he moved on to you. They are. You should be seeing them shortly. They were already headed that way for Walgreens.
I'm not sure. Who am I talking to real quick?
This is Cincinnati Police and Fire Dispatch 911.
The police are here now.
Okay, the next slide will depict, hold on. The next slide will depict the sequence of events as the radio calls and the 911 calls together. The District 3 officers encountered the individual at Rapid Run and Sunset. The individual refused to comply with the officer's commands. He drew the pistol from his waistband. Shots were fired, and we'll run through the sequence of events all together.
Attention Fire Department, Palm County Broadcast, Special Attention, Cincinnati District 3. Report of a strong robbery at gunpoint at the Priceville Walgreens, 4241 Glenway. Store was robbed at gunpoint by a male white mid-30s, 6'2", dark jacket, green and blue, pajama pants. Armed with a black handgun, they store robbery at gunpoint at the Priceville Walgreens, 4241 Glenway. Suspect male white mid-30s, 6'2", dark jacket, green and blue, pajama pants. Armed with a black handgun, last seen on foot out the door in an unknown direction. He was unsuccessful at getting any money. Authority Cincinnati at 2,000 hours.
3440 I'll be now. Doesn't have a further of what you got. Doesn't have one of the scenes firsthand. 41 to 35.
344135 at the Walgreens.
8112 on the ground.
8112 I copy.
8103
Copy.
3220 Arkansas. 8074.
Go ahead.
You made 35 in the area of the robbery. Can you give me a description again?
3441. We're on scene with the victim. There appears to be too much foot traffic.
Attention all parts of Department, Palm County Broadcast, Special Attention, Cincinnati District 3. Report of another robbery at gunpoint at 4220 Glenway at the Deals. Store was robbed at gunpoint by a male white 40s dark hair. Complainant says this is different than the Walgreens possibly the same suspect known at this time. That is a robbery at gunpoint at the Dales, 4220 Glenway. It is a similar description of the Walgreens suspect with now white 40 dark hair, plaid jacket, plaid blue pajama pants. Last seen in another direction. 40 Cincinnati, 2002 hours.
25, clearly assist, and you can do that one also. No direction for the person or they have some?
No direction at this time.
3440. If the unit will be at the Walgreens, there's a push look at the canine, number of the canine, the new robbery. On the corner there.
Alright, copy K9 divert over to the deal.
4135 is the deal.
4135 at the deal.
3220 on the deal, since you got another supervisor that can take Walgreens.
3440 was going to Walgreens. I've got 3420 on the run for deal, so at this point, your choice. Alright, reference deals.
3220 and 35 at deals now.
Copy reference.
3235, we have that suspect, he's like on Sunset.
Copy on Sunset with the suspect.
Which I already said you again with that.
35.
3235, it's Sunset down at the bottom towards like Rabbit Run, the park, right at the corner.
Suspect in custody.
Negative, we have one at gunpoint this time, waiting on backup units.
Copy 1 at gunpoint, Sunset near Rapid Run. Attention all units on channel 3, hold on non-emergency traffic.
Shots fired! Let's go!
Report of shots fired. Sunset in Rapid Run involving police. Shots fired involving police. Sunset Rapid Run. This is robbery suspect. 40 Cincinnati, 2005.
Okay. The next slide shows the actual MVR footage, and you'll capture that. There is a brief pause before the lights are activated, and then the audio will take place. Followed by that will be a closer, a more detailed account of what the individual action he took towards the officer.
Turn around!
Copy 1 at gunpoint, Sunset Rapid Run.
Hey, get the fucking hand out of your pocket!
Turn around!
Turn around! Stop fucking looking at me! Get your hands out your fucking pocket! Get your hands out of your pocket! Keep your hands up!
You better keep your head
fucking
down
hands
the
up!
tail!
Keep your hands up! Keep your hands up! I'm telling you! Keep your fucking hands up! Shut fire! Shut fire! Hands down!
Go to the next slide. This is a closer up, slow motion footage of the individual. Turns sideways towards the officers, lowers his right hand, brings the left hand down to retrieve something, points the firearm at the officers. They engage, fire several shots. It's looped, you see it again. Okay. This is the weapon that he was carrying. It turns out it is a Daisy BB pistol. The individual was carrying. The next slide. This is the individual, Robert Tenbrink, 45 years old, somewhat extensive criminal history. The officers involved, go ahead to the next slide. Officer Andrea Harmon joined the department in 2014. She was one of our lateral hire officers. I believe she had some prior service with the VA Police Department. Second officer, Officer Kevin Manns, he also joined in 2014. He was a lateral entry officer, spent 14 years with the University of Cincinnati Police Department. At this point, we'll take any questions you have for us. Anyone?
Can you repeat the officer's name?
Go back.
Suspect's name?
We'll get it.
You, I think most of us were rolling on the video and stuff, so could you just kind of, just for on camera with you saying it, just, if you could just please go over briefly the scenario, and also, I realize the investigation is just getting started, but your sense of, at least preliminarily, whether this was legit, justified.
Well, I believe the officers responded. They utilized their training. Clearly, in this situation, you see an individual retrieve a firearm, points it at the officers. They respond in the manner in which they were trained. They discharge their firearms, and the outcome is what we have today.
This is the first time you've had a situation under your watch as chief of an officer-involved shooting. Describe your emotions getting that call.
Well,
Actually, all the things we do now.
Actually, we had one while I was interim over on West 8th Street. So, but as permanent chief, yes, I've been involved in a number of these over the years. I've served time as a commander of the criminal investigation section, which does the homicide investigation as well as the internal investigation. So I've been in many of these type situations. But anytime there's an incident involving our officers, my first reaction is to make sure my officers are safe. Again, as the mayor stated at the beginning, all life is valuable. We don't want to see anyone lose their lives, but when these type of incidents occurs, our officers have to respond in the manner in which they were trained.
You mentioned this gentleman has a record of prior offenses. Can you detail or list any of the offenses and the serious nature of those offenses, Chief?
He has a history of some felony drug arrests, domestic violence, believe 16 misdemeanor arrests, several felony arrests, but I don't believe any convictions for felony offenses. But I believe there's some indication of drug use.
Before to consider him armed and dangerous?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of.
Where did you find the gun on him afterwards, and did you also find the money that was
He had the firearm on him. It was, as he fell, it fell to the ground with him. And I do believe some of the currency was recovered from the robbery.
Was the gun actually loaded?
It was a BB pistol. I'm not certain if there were any. I'm not certain if there were BBs in it.
You listened to the officer's commands to show your hands, to comply with commands. Talk about the procedures. Did they follow procedures based on what you know and what they listened to?
Based on what I've seen now, you have to remember this is a intense situation, and you have an individual that's not complying or partially complying. So those type of situations can escalate, and this is one that escalated to the point where this individual's life was taken.
Did he say anything to officers that we couldn't hear? Is there anything from your investigation?
Not that I'm aware of. One of the things that was indicated is that the individual had a tracheotomy, so I don't believe there was actually any verbal exchange. He wasn't clearly following the direction of the officers, as you can see from the NVR footage.
Will he, as the test move on, will they be determined on him as to whether he was the under the influence of any kind of substance? Is it logical to assume this guy was a substance abuser going from store to store trying to rob?
I can't speculate on that, but I know the coroner's office will do an extensive autopsy, and they'll make all those determinations.
What was the tracheotomy about?
I'm not certain.
Have you been released from the hospital for something recently?
Not that we haven't received any information regarding that. I believe it was a permanent tracheotomy. Anything else?
How soon after the robberies did police encounter him?
Just within 4 or 5 minutes, a very short time, enough for him to walk from Glenway down to the corner of Sunset and Rapid Run. So just the distance of that street length.
You said some of the currency was recovered?
I'm not sure the actual amount. I haven't determined that.
Both officers fired?
We do. We believe both officers fired.
And we think both officers hit him, do we know?
No, we're not certain of that. We're waiting on the final autopsy from the coroner. We know he was struck at least one time in the face. Other than that, we're not certain at this point.
Chief, while we got you here, do you have anything to add or say about the father who, I guess, shot his son last night, in terms of, I don't know what, the danger of people having their own guns and how things could go bad?
Horrible, horrible tragedy. I don't know what more you say in a situation like that. I think when you talk about firearms in your home, I think that's an individual choice, and it's certain if you're going to own a firearm, you need to be trained, you need to be prepared, and these type of tragedies are so horrific, they're even unimaginable. So,
What, if any, charges from that situation might be considered, might be filed, or could there be charges from that situation?
the prosecutor's office will review it and make that determination. I'm just not certain on what they'll determine in that.
Standard administrative, back to this case, standard administrative leave?
Yes, the 2 officers will receive 40 hours administrative leaves, which is standard in these situations.
Investigations are, there'll be an internal,
Correct. We'll follow our normal protocol. There'll be an investigation. Obviously, the criminal investigation section, the homicide unit, also will be reviewed by our internal investigation. The Citizens Complaint Authority also doing a independent companion investigation as well. Will then go through the prosecutor's office as well as a final review by our Firearms Discharge Board, all for the final approval by the city manager.
What's his message to school kids, Chief, especially those old enough to understand?
Absolutely. I mean, when you're anywhere near a firearm, you have to be safe. Those protocols, everyone needs to make sure that if there's a firearm in the home, that they're safe.
I mean, as far as going to school and coming back home. And
tell the truth. Make sure your parents know where you are. Absolutely.
The mayor had a message that he opened this news conference with. Chief, in closing, what message would you have, number one, to the people, number two, that anybody would consider robberies or crimes like this in any neighborhood of this city?
Well, again, any loss of life is a tragedy. It's not our intention to do that, but if we are put in a situation, we will respond. Officers will protect ourselves, and we will protect the citizens of Cincinnati. Absolutely.
That's the last question. We're going to stop now. But you mentioned, Tom, the other officer involved shooting that the chief was involved in when he was interim on West 8th Street. In that situation, if I'm not mistaken, the cops were dealing with somebody who was on probation and going to check up on him. And as they did so, the guy on probation pointed a gun at the cops. They shot him. He wasn't killed, but he was injured. Our guys are going after the bad guys. We're executing warrants on people who have probation. We're chasing people who rob stores. We want these criminals on the run, and we are chasing the bad guys. The number one issue in the city is bringing down the crime rate, and there's a question nationally about whether cops are chasing bad guys or not. The Cincinnati Police Department is going after the bad guys, and they have my 100% support, and they have the support of the citizens of the city. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.